My name is Tingle-Sames, and I am currently on the Georgetown City Council. I have in the past been the mayor of the city of Georgetown. So one of the reasons I'd like for you to vote for me is because I bring a very unique experience to being on it as a council member. I've had the executive experience, so I know a few things that other council members don't know and understand, and so then I have the legislative function of it. So I can know how not only that we pass laws, but how they'll work once they are executed. They a lot of times sound good when we're talking about it, but once it's the execution part of it, they're not always quite so good. Another reason I would like for the citizens of Georgetown to vote for me is because I have an open door policy. My open door policy is a literal open door policy. I have a small business that my family has owned in Georgetown for 49 years, and I'm the second generation there. And literally, we are open every day, and people walk into the shop and they come in and they talk to us, and they talk to us about what's going on in the city. They ask us questions. So I'm literally the easiest council member to get a hold of and to talk to. And anybody is welcome to come into my business anytime they want to talk about it. And so we kind of have nicknamed the shop City Hall East, because we're on the east side of town and people can come in. So that makes me very accessible to the public. I am good at listening. I have strong values and opinions of my own, but I will always open my ears up and to listen to other people. And loving to listen to other people, because even if they disagree with me on an issue, it makes me check myself and go back and research what I think and go back and study what I think to make sure that I'm doing the right thing for the citizens of Georgetown. I love this community. It's a beautiful community. We've grown a lot over the years because I am a lifelong resident here, and I remember the yesteryears as well as the present years. And so we have a unique responsibility to hang on to that past while we go to the future. And I think I'm the council member that's helping to do that. So I'd appreciate you voting for me. Yes, I have read and studied the survey. Breaking down the study that was given to us by the mayor, there's some things I take a little bit of issue with in the study, but one of the things it did plainly prove is that yes, we underpay our police officers and our first responders. Right now, the reason in the past I have been reluctant to talk about things like that, but the world is so different now. Now we have to address what are we going to do with our police. The crime in Georgetown has increased dramatically over the last year. We're seeing it. So we as a council have to step up and do something about that. We are short on manpower, so we need more officers on the street and do that. Now, the mayor has proposed in that study that he wanted to raise 6 different taxes. He called some fees, some taxes, but the bottom line, they're all out of the taxpayer's pocket. So the taxpayers of Georgetown, I think, are okay with increasing revenue if they are promised that it goes to the first responders. The council just actually passed a 911 fee. The whole principle behind that was to give it to the first responders and make sure they were able to get that raised to get us started in the direction that we needed to go. We did raise the salaries substantially, but we still have a little bit more to do. One of the things to raise the salaries, we need to start going back into the budget, looking at the budget in a different light. In the last 5-6 years, we have been presented the budget through the Finance Committee and by the mayor, and we have openly accepted the budget as is. We have not had workshops, we have not had discussions, we have not gone through it line by line. The council needs to go back and take responsibility for the budget. We need to start going back, getting it out of committee, taking it back into the council, start having workshops and actually looking at the budget and breaking it down and seeing what we can find in there. Now, I know it's going to be a tight budget regardless what we do. There are proposed taxes that the mayor has proposed. We cannot, under the back of what's going on for this community right now with COVID and people being out of work, people have been out of work, businesses are being hurt, to go in there and raise 6 different taxes. We can't do it. But we have to go back in there and find a way that we can start hiring some additional manpower, especially in the police department, because the citizens of the community are not feeling safe any longer. So that means we cut out every bit of fluff, and there's not a lot of fluff in the budget because most of it goes to the first responders, but we need to cut out all the extra stuff that we have in there and go back to the basics. So part of the basics that we need to do is prioritize We haven't prioritized as a council what we need to do for several years now. So we need to go back. The council needs to sit down, do workshops, prioritize what's important to us, and then figure out the way that we're going to pay for that. Because it will take revenue. Does the council need to raise 6 taxes? Absolutely not. Do we have to find a little more revenue? Yes, we do. We're going to have to find it somewhere or the other. If we can't find it all in the budget, then we're going to have to go looking outside of the budget and see where we're going to be able to find it. But we can't go back and raise 6 taxes. The reason I know we don't need the 6 taxes is because if you look at the mayor's proposal that he put out there, on the back side of that, that was giving him extra money to go, and then he asked for, at the back side of it, to ask for us to go $20 million in debt above what we're already are $11 million in debt, to go into that debt. I don't know why we would go into that kind of a debt when we can't possibly pay for our first responders now. So it's time to prioritize. The council has to do it. The council has to take control of the budget again and start looking into the details of it before we ever start talking about raising revenues, but it may be something we're going to have to do in the future. Thank you for having me here, and you all can contact me. I would love to have the citizens vote for me for Georgetown City Council. You can tell I'm very passionate about it, and would love to serve for Georgetown 2 more years. Karen Tingle-Sames.